Hello, Michael Organ here. It's the 25th of May and I'm standing next to the Murrumburrah railway viaduct looking south, and you can see from here that I'm standing on an elevated area which traditionally would have moved down into the creek area we see down the bottom, which is the Currarong Creek, in the background Currarong Road. But just in front of me is a fence, and you can see there's been a bit of a cutting here where it's been cut back to this initial fence, and then the railway line has gone through. It's gone through to the viaduct, and just north of the viaduct you can see some built up dirt and embankment. But as we look to the left of the viaduct, you can see that it goes down into a swampy kind of area. You can see some reeds there which is connected with the actual creek. So all this land in front of me would have gone all the way down. But what we're actually seeing here is the railway embankment. You can see in the distance that road that also goes down to the level of where that car is going. That road also goes down to the level of the creek and the road before coming up again behind the trees towards that green shed. So basically the level of the creek underneath the bridge was the level of the land there. And it was a massive big area of erosion that the creek has gradually eroded the area over time. And that embankment, as I said, it goes through and then turns around the corner towards west, turns west towards out the road out of Murrumburrah. So that's where the landscape had been altered. An embankment on both sides of the bridge, of the viaduct, 4-arch viaduct. Embankment on both sides, and that embankment is, we'll be able to see that when I take another video from the other side looking north. I'll stop in a minute because there's a train coming through and they're rather noisy. But you can see the length of the embankment, and this is the main line from Sydney to Melbourne, so it's quite a well maintained and well constructed. So as we look further, we can see that the level of Currarong Creek here is similar to level as it goes down towards the main road and to the Neil Street causeway. We can just see in the distance there some evidence of the close settlement. There's 2 or 3 residences along this western side, and then we've got the park, Roberts Park, and some of those residences have basically cleared all the land, in some instances right up to the creek's edge. So I think that's an area that needs to be just clarified as to where the public land, where the land owned by council land, it's state government owned by the railway, where that ends, and because that might be the land that could possibly use for the bush regeneration. Obviously up in this area near the viaduct, I don't think necessarily there's going to be any avenue for a walkway or public open space way up to that, unless it was extended from a track that came off the out of the showground here, possibly from that fence there where you had a little dedicated track that just walked down to that level into that on railway land, of course, into that area where the actual viaduct crosses the creek, so people could actually go to the creek area and then cross over the creek and walk all the way down towards Roberts Park.